I'm making this video unexpectedly because Richard is now waiting to get out of the kingdom. He's having all sorts of nonsense, filling in forms to try to get some sort of compensation with sites that don't work, with people that aren't there, knocking on doors and people aren't there. It's very frustrating. I can only say that I get some notes here. I hadn't planned on making this so early, but I better as well do it. Okay. I planned something to speak about Saudi touristic spots, but I'll make that in the next video. There are some touristic spots to visit. Okay. Again, I have to repeat that the British Foreign and Commonwealth Office have done very little for Richard. I'm just going to re-quote something that I quoted earlier from the FCO. When they say, I think people often misunderstand the embassy's role when people get into trouble overseas and think we have a magic wand we can wave to sort out things for them. That is not the case. Well, Richard is not so well. He's hanging on. They sent him a letter where you can't ask a plumber to give you a loaf of bread. What nonsense. I think, really, we need to go back to the Foreign Office and say, or whoever, looks at things, or write your MP, an audit is really required at each embassy. Obviously, the embassy in Bombay or Brasilia has more to do than embassies in Bishkek or Bhutan. But really, more research I've done regarding British expats is that they really would like the British Embassy to provide them with some decent information, or a drop-in center, sometime to speak to some person who's not in a team meeting, to actually sit and chat with them, maybe an open hour, open gov. It's just really frustrating. And the government, the FCO know the slow pace in Saudi Arabia. They really do know. It's really upsetting, They know the pace. They know what Richard's going through. He just needs a chit, so when he gets to the airport to leave, that he can go, because all sorts of things can happen. Now, we've asked everyone that has already written to their Member of Parliament to really write them again and say, look, Richard wants to go. He just would like the embassy to do something with the Saudis to allow some authority to just give him a piece of paper to say you can leave. It's simply not good enough that he's not blocked on the Ministry of Interior anymore. That's not good enough, because anybody who knows Saudi knows that Richard could give up his flat that he's renting, go to the airport, and not be allowed through. I don't know how much more we can implore people in the FCO to do something. I think he's given up on most of them in the Middle East. But, if you've got any sort of heart, this man has been in basically open arrest for over a year and a half. It's got to end. Whatever anyone feels about this personally, if you're a British expat, it could happen to you. So, anybody who's supported this either through the emails to me on kabsa.anzi@gmail.com or anything else, or who've already written, it would be great, I'd really appreciate this. I know that people have tried, but unless you've been to Saudi, you don't really realize. And we can all go into recriminations about, well, he shouldn't have gone there and you shouldn't go there. He's there and he wants to leave. He wants to get on with the rest of his life. His finances are shot. On one side, a pension plan that he had was involved. He was sold from one pension plan to another. And at the moment, he's fighting to get some money from a British motorcycle firm that went into liquidation, I think. And there was a commission on that, and it proved that there was no oversight. But, this happened. So he's got his pension up to Swanee. He hasn't worked in a year and a half. He owes a lot of money. I've just said to him to focus on getting out of there. And so please, if anybody out there has already written to their MP, please write again with a simple question. Can the FCO do something so he gets a piece of paper just so he can leave? Just being on the Ministry of Information or Ministry of Interior in Saudi may not be enough. Someone may stop him at the airport, and that might give him, the final push for a real breakdown. So just write your MP and please say, look, the case has been dropped. He wants to go. Just could what would be so hard for somebody from the embassy to go with him to the airport? They've got $1 billion that they use over the year, and if a hapless British expat can't be helped, at least to be met at the airport with somebody from the FCO, however lowly in terms of status they are, it might just help, especially an Arabic speaker, of course. Because often, as a Saudi policeman once told me, the people that we have, I said to him, are they the best English speakers? Are they your best policemen? And this colonel in the Saudi police said to me, they're often the worst police and they're not the best speakers. So again, just let's have that final push in the Free Richard H campaign. This is episode 22. This is Mr. H. It's very late at night, but I felt I should make this. So thank you very much.